We are resisting persisting, but we're persisting. Not resisting, but resists. Persists. Or what you resist persists. I don't know. Welcome in to Coffee with Kelsey. Today's a weird day. I don't know. Okay, so one thing I've noticed in the last couple of weeks, especially in the last couple of videos, and I'm hoping I'm projecting more today because I'm in more of like a safe container, kind of more of like a home base. That's my car. So I feel I have more freedom or whatever. Environment has really been on my mind. Because there's these oppressive, suppressive environments or whatever, or things that I notice that put pressure on things, or I notice I'm keeping in, holding things in. I can feel it and see it in the body language, where instead of taking these ideas and the voice and putting it out here, it's definitely been like in here where it's a lot harder to hear. But there's something to that. Resisting, persisting, or just be yourself comes to mind. Something about being more mortician keeps coming up. I'm just gonna kind of like sift through things, and if you have questions you can ask or kind of put things out there. We're next to the poop park where we take the little doggy, the wiener doodle, for walks, and so we're gonna be hearing her barking at passing by dogs. You'll hear one in just a minute, maybe. Go viral, not bacterial. A flattered client is a repeat client. Your personality can be as colorful as your canvas. Maybe there's something in that too, because I feel like there's this, whatever I've been working through this year, like one thing kind of leads to another, right? Where, tell me about it, Kismet. Like identity, right? Things about identity. And in being an eccentric, colorful artist, just being myself, I've noticed over the years that I've attempted to, say, mask or kind of like turn down that dial or just be normal to, I guess, try and make people more comfortable or something. I don't know. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. If there's like emotions, other emotions like frustrated keeps coming to mind, but I'm not comfortable. And maybe there's something about being in this space of discomfort that is pushing us to like homogenize is coming to my, like, why do lack of emotions, and I think where a lot of my energy is penting up, and maybe for others, or what I'm feeling in this pent up energy space is the suppression of lots of emotions. Emotional intelligence is another theme that's been coming up. Emotional expression, emotional safety, safe spaces. these are like recurring themes wherein trying to consolidate what's the point, what do we focus on, what is the transformation guide all about, what do people need right now as a collective, as a whole. There's a lot to say, but I don't want to start ranting about it. So we'll plant some seeds. We'll plant seeds. We'll look into the tree of life. And then I've got messengers. I've got Wonderland stuff. So we can explore whatever it is that you're resisting. What is persisting? Resistance can be good, right? Viva la resistance. So it's the judgment. Like, what can be good for one isn't necessarily good for another. The way one person does it isn't necessarily the same that another person does it. And in this realm of homogeny, it's like, oh my god, you're different and doing it wrong. Oh my god, you showed emotions. Oh my god, you're crazy. Like, oh, I can't. Right? Kind of shit makes people really uncomfortable, especially people who are like super positive and let's just be happy and don't say or do anything that's going to make me uncomfortable. You have to do the emotional labor. There's another word for us too. You have to do the emotional labor for me. I have family and treehouse that are popping out here. Family kind of hit the ground. Family, genetics, coding, and coding can be very persistent or modified to resist certain things, or like bacterial strains. Genetically modified foods are coming to mind too, and how that might shift and change various levels of consciousness. But I mean, we're talking about family card here, and resisting and persisting, and I think a lot of these family attitudes, traits, beliefs, cultures, values, traditions are based and formed around this homogenizing, or around this sameness, like leveling out the playing field or something. Like a longing to belong versus a longing to be seen. Because I think with some of that belonging and conformity, that self-identity gets lost. And it's like, well, who am I without these groups or without all these people? I don't know. And then like people can't sit with themselves, because if they sit with themselves or in that space of quiet or in this environment where other people are like puppet stringing, controlling or influencing or directing or informing the person what to do, they can stay in this realm of subconscious suppressed energy, you know, to fit in and to be cool or whatever. Nuts. But when we're trying to shake things up a bit and kind of take things off the ground, I mean, things definitely get shooken up. I'm not going to read through the whole thing in these because these take a long time, but I'm curious to know, one, the numbers, and two, just kind of general themes or words that are going to stick out, pop out, because family and treehouse are here. Home base keeps popping up. Emotional intelligence, home, family, safety, security. What is that? What does that look like? How is that defined? Spirit family, soul family versus karmic families. Emotional regulation also. Family groups, environments can be triggers, or there can be certain people within these groups and families and things that like to trigger you or try to push those buttons or dysregulate you, or people who do say things that dysregulate you. So maybe we can talk a little bit about regulating the nervous system too as we go forward. Transforming consciously, transforming, what was the word? In terms of like consolidating what to call the self. Transformative catalyst. Transformation catalyst. Yes, we are going to catalyze transformation whether you like it or not. It's happening. Get on board. And do so consciously, or like figure out how to steer things in such a way that brings balance, harmony, that you know is right. Oh, just keep swimming, just keep going, don't give up. Resisting being the self too also might be preventing things from happening. It's like family doesn't want to show itself in this book, and then like family just kind of like jumped out over there too. So is there like a sneaky family stuff going on that you're unaware of, or people aren't including you? Are they resisting your ideas? Are they resisting your energy? Or they have persisting ideas, persisting patterns, let's call them, that are undermining. Why can't I find it in here? Oh, there it is. Family. 23, page 71. Resisting family? The world. Family, the world, resisting and persisting in the world. It's a global concept. It's nothing new, right? That's why we can talk about it in a broad range. Universality. Completeness, diversity, inclusivity, expansiveness, benevolence, success. Expansiveness came out yesterday too, like within the mic drop. Learning to expand, growing pains, even expansion through emotional development. I wanted to say emotional awareness too. But I think there's some basic skills that need to be developed before that awareness thing can really sink in. Because as you become more aware of things, you're like, ah, crap, I don't have a tool for that. But if we can bring our toolkit with us to the party, so to speak, to the house, then we can do the repairs that we need. But if we forget the toolkit going to the treehouse, what's going to happen there? Treehouseness. Everything is just very scattered. Are we tying up loose ends? I feel like I'm getting to this point of like, you know what? I fucking had it. Okay? I am just spread out too fucking thin. There's so many different things and projects and whatever that are juggling, and then people aren't following through and doing what they say that they're going to do. And it's just like further and further back, or further and further behind. And what is it, like a hungry, oh, but can't you just, and then like whatever, and we're gonna do all these things because you don't, whatever, we're just gonna, and then we're gonna like take a minute, and then like, I don't know, and then what is, maybe we'll look at what that energy is too. Family, nuts, and treehouse. Okay, so back to this family thing. It's altruism kind of is at the top of the list here too. think like a family tree or like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if we get to self-actualization, but that altruistic thing, doing the thing that is right and good, whether or not somebody is watching or not. This is being devoid of manipulation. Because if people are going to be manipulative and they're going to be fucking shitty and you're listening and you're paying attention, they'll tell you. Because when somebody tells you, I'm a very manipulative person, if you're not listening to that and you're trying to look for proof, they'll show you, right? And so this is where those boundaries, I think, are going to be kind of important. Extreme action is here. Hitler's coming to mind too, because this goes into that realm of judgments and what that is. Look at the mic drop from yesterday. We go into that a bit in terms of like, we're not here to judge, we're here to listen. So you get these people out there like the Hitlers of the world who think that they're doing something good and they think that they're doing something right, but they're so suppressed and emotionally unintelligent, or not doing the work within their shadow, or not working through their bullshit, right? And they're getting sucked into these neuroses and these fabricated belief systems where they think that is real, and they're taking these extreme actions to try and like project and control the world outside of them because they're lacking those feelings, or they need that feeling of sense of control and domination to feel good and right and secure within themselves. Because if they don't have that, this is where that emotional intelligence thing comes into play, or when they have like these ebbs and flows and the waves, like kind of like the shit hits the fan, and that inner struggle comes into play. So is there an inner struggle that you're going on or going through because people around you are telling you you shouldn't do something? Encouraging others on their journey is to reinforce your own strengths as you grow. So another thing that came to mind yesterday after we closed off the channel, the session, or something I guess that's just been coming to the forefront of my mind, is positive support and encouragement in people's hopes, wishes, goals, dreams is so powerful. It's so helpful and inspirational and uplifting and loving, and can do so much for people. Make them feel so good on the inside. But when you come along and you try to squash people's dreams or play the devil's advocate, fucking hate that word. The whatever, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. Why are you advocating for the devil? Why are you advocating for people doing shitty things? I'm an advocate for sexual assault survivors. I advocate for people who don't have voices and power or resources. And I have people coming at me playing devil's advocate, telling me I'm wrong, bad, doing something, or shouldn't be, or whatever. Know thyself. This is a theme that keeps coming up too, that's super important. The smallest ounce of encouragement can launch people so far. But these consistent little like pokes and prods just send you so far backwards in the other direction. So persistence going forward, resistance going backwards, right? However you want to kind of visually interpolate that. Reach up and stretch your limbs. Open poses, right? Body language. Anytime you start to like, I notice this in myself, close, become insecure, self-conscious, I don't want to say worried about what other people think, but afraid of the consequences or other people's reactions, because they can be so unfair, unwarranted, unjustified. If I can sum up the experience of my life in a nutshell, it goes like this. I walk into life and I say, "What time does dinner start?" And the people in the environment respond back, 9 people. And this is the story of my fucking life. Being very clear, very direct, asking a specific question. What time is dinner? So I can plan. But people have these ideas, fabrications, projections, ideas about who I am, the role I should play, how I fit into things. So they're not listening to me and to what I'm saying. They take a look at me and they assume they already know what I'm going to say, do, feel, act, all of that. And so they have in their mind, oh, she's going to walk into here, and she's going to want to know how many people are going to be at dinner. That's not the question that I asked. So again, what time is dinner? 9 people. And I think this is why I'm kind of at this, let's call it breakthrough point. A snapping together point. Aha moment. I don't want to call it one of those things like, fuck this shit, no, I'm just gonna let, no. No. This isn't like some emotional rant of something that's just bleh. Okay? Trying to get to a specific answer. What time is dinner? Are you listening? We're here to listen, we're not here to judge. Okay? So please listen. This is also I posted a video, a couple clips down, of this woman with autism who is speaking from her experiences or whatever, and I love this woman, and I love the way that she communicates and conveys things. And one of the points in there that is sticking out to me, or that's really coming forward with, and I'm like, yes, lady, this is this whole idea of people who are like the spiritual bypassers, emotional bypassers, the toxic positivity-erers, who are like, I don't have feelings like that, everything's good, I'm just gonna let it roll off my back, is the way that she phrased it, and they're not gonna take anything really seriously. They just kind of like, yeah, whatever, it's just life. No, not a big deal. Why are you being so over emotional? Yeah, you're just feeling too much. Like, can you tone it down? Why can't you just be normal? Oftentimes, go watch that video. These are the people doing the most damage and causing the most harm. Not the people who are crying because they're at their fucking wit's end and they need hug, they need encouragement, they just need somebody to see them and validate them and tell them dinner's at 5. It's okay, dinner's at 5 o'clock. Whew, okay, great. The lack of emotional intelligence in people who just want to bypass everything to just feel good all the time or whatever. It's fucking bullshit. This world is crumbling and falling apart and there's all these things happening and you're like, oh, not my problem. I don't have to deal with it. You're the one feeling the emotion, so maybe you should go to therapy or maybe you should take medications or why are we taking these opportunities to form community and to evolve and to get deeper into knowing and to create more depth and meaning in life, more quality of life, why are we deferring that? Why are we taking those opportunities and trying to call that crazy? Why are we trying to take these opportunities for connection and trying to push people off on other people? Like, why are we trying to displace that? And then medicating? What? You don't want me to share an emotion or to have feelings because it's making you uncomfortable? But instead of sitting here and asking me or getting to the root of the matter why I'm uncomfortable, because I'm uncomfortable, and you're feeling my discomfort, that's not my fault. That's not that I need to go get medicated because I'm uncomfortable and it's making you uncomfortable. This is, you are uncomfortable with my pointing out the fact or talking about being uncomfortable because you don't know how to sit in discomfort. Don't know how to feel those feelings. If you only know how to feel one type of feeling, you're missing out on so much in life. So much. Just in terms of like richness and flavor and depth of experience, you know? People are just staying in the shallow surface level bullshit, materialistic fuck crap. And then like dominating each other over these material stupid things that have nothing to do with like emotions, except for their emotions have been toyed with and manipulated through these corporate processes and advertisements to get them to identify themselves with having these things in the first place. So their emotions are being controlled by these material objects and things that they're consuming. GMOs. Do you want to be a genetically modified organism? Or do you want to be a conscious, creative person who can self-heal and self-regulate and do amazing, awesome things and overcome internal struggles and find connections with people and build amazing communities and solve problems in the world? Fucking had it. Okay, just fucking had it. Trying to like preserve people's emotions or like not hurt people's feelings or not make them uncomfortable because whatever. Like, I am comfortable in the authenticity in that space. In this whoosh, there's freedom and there's flow and there's creativity and innovation and personal growth and personal development, and it's awesome. I've recovered parts of myself that I thought, were lost and stolen and gone and stripped away from me. There's just so much that, so much energy to give, right? Let's look at nuts. No, let's look at treehouse and then we'll look at nuts. Or do we want to do nuts and then treehouse? Let's look at nuts first. Right? Oh. I've been super incubating and just very much reflecting. Which is just kind of ironic because nothing is what it seems to be or whatever. Nothing really ever goes as planned. And this year, especially like with this like 10-year anniversary of my unicorn and like or whatever, la la la, advocacy work, went into it wanting to persist but resisting the opportunities, and kind of went into it with this like bold, grand, big vision in mind, and then in trying to connect and manifest and materialize it, I have just been met with or have been experiencing, I want to like fuel it, resistance and support. So much resistance this year. Just kind of like, I wouldn't say like across the board, because the one, say, channel I thought would be most resistant was the least resistant and had the most flow, and what I had anticipated being a rigid, structured, guarded 1-hour conversation turned into a very fluid 2-hour, here's all the la 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 la, and I was like, wow, you just gave me more encouragement in this little whatever than I've received in all the 10 years that I've been doing this. And that has been enough to persist and to fuel this. But I've realized it's not going to go the way that I idealistically vision it to be, right? Maybe this is where that mic drop comes into play, because it's just getting to this point of like, you know what? Not wanting to tolerate people shitty whatever stuff anymore. I've been so tolerant. Maybe you too, right? There's a lot that you've been tolerating, and it's not that you need to like be mean and reactive and whatever, but to be assertive and solid and to like real and authentic and be like, I didn't ask how many people. Again, I asked, what time is dinner? And there are people who are gonna get really reactive to that. Whatever, and they want to make it all about this, like, and like, you just, and I can't believe, and you just, and they want to make you a problem because they've misunderstood something. Because they're not listening, they're judging. So we don't judge here. We're listening. We're learning, okay? So we can make more conscientious decisions. Let's look at nuts. Let's see if this one will pop out on me too. These are seeds that we've planted, things that are harvested. 14th card, 45th page. Preparing. Nuts. Preparation. That toolkit thing, right? Like making sure you bring your tools with you to the treehouse. Being prepared, because you don't want to end up in the treehouse and then like get stuck or it falls, or like, I don't know, we'll look at what that is. Future prospects, hard work, skillful calculation, stability, having plenty. Let's look at a little bit about what stability means. Because I think when I say the word stability, people picture like emotional stability as looking like, zen, I just feel peace all the time, and, no big deal, nothing can faze me. That's not emotional stability, because things aren't what they seem to be. Because the people who keep that demure facade in order to homogenize and fit in and people please and be liked or whatever, not feel their feelings or whatever that's about, I'm losing my train of thought. Often have the most inner conflict going on within them. You can, if you're paying close enough attention, you can sense it behind the eyes, because there's that reserve, wall, block, something, resistance. But the persistence part, when you see me having these conversations and the cadence ebbs and flows and the motions come in and out and the like the theatrics come into play and all, it's like, people are like, oh my god, you want to make nuts, or like people would assume that that's emotional instability because you're experiencing and feeling and being present with the full array of emotions. But at the core, in the inside, there's full-on radical acceptance and self-knowing. There's no inner struggle. There's inner balance. There's an inner acceptance and knowing, hey, this makes me feel this way, this makes me feel that way, this makes me feel that way, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm being, I'm expressing, being, doing, having the living, right? feels pretty good. Until you get to the point of those judgments where people are like, oh my god, you're just so full of yourself. Oh my god, she just thinks she's so whatever. Oh my god, she's just trying to get attention. Oh my god, like, I don't know. Talk shit. Can you believe it? She must, like, fucking had it. Like, shut the fuck up. Fucking listen, please. Quit the catty giddy and the fucking judgment and listen. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I know what I'm asking and I know what answer I'm looking for. What time is dinner? I am asking what time is dinner because I want to know what time dinner is. So I know what time to show up. So I can plan my day, right? I'm not asking how many people are going to be there. I'm not, whatever. That's not what I'm concerned with right now. Okay? So please listen and answer the question that I'm asking. Not answer the question that you want me to be asking because the question that I'm asking is somehow not in alignment with your judgments. Okay? Getting people to listen is, and to take you seriously, I mean, so fucking hard. Especially when they have really strong judgments about who you should be or who they think you should be and how you should be doing things. If that works for you, great. If that's what you did to get where you are in life and that makes you happy, great, good for you. Please, keep that for you and don't put that on me. Don't tell me I'm a bad person or this or that or whatever or not or whatever because I don't do things the way you do them. Let me do things the way that I do them. I let you do things the way you do them, no judgment. If that's the way you want to do it and you want to spend 30 years working in something that makes you unhappy, doing something to have the house and have this and have that and that, whatever, fine, great. Okay? The world needs to go around based off of different roles and functions and places within society. We can't all be doing and looking the exact same all the time. Nothing would ever get fucking done. We would go nowhere. Right? Like, stay in your lane. Please stay in your lane. Don't come over here trying to get in my lane and trying to, like, steer my car, trying to take my vehicle, or trying to, like, go get in your lane, do your thing, and, wait for, we'll just fucking cruise through life. Okay? Resisting and persisting, or they want to hold on to these beliefs, and they don't want to make changes, and all these things, and it's just these perpetual cycles. And we can do that thing of like, okay honey, don't do it again, 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 okay honey, don't. You're not listening, so don't fucking do it again. But you're listening now, aren't you? Power of emotions. I do it to prove a point, right? When you see somebody expressing a big, bold emotion, you want to come in with judgments and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're doing this because, like, you're not listening. Okay? What got it to that point in the first place? This is like Ferdinand the Bull comes to mind. I'm a bull, so this is why this is in there all the time, In the environment. You don't put a bull in a china shop with a bumblebee and then get mad at the bull for knocking over the china shop stuff and the bee stings it. It's not the bull's fault. Okay? And the bull isn't knocking shit over in the china shop because of whatever, it's nuts and it's crazy and it needs to be euthanized and put down because it's big and bad and scary. Like, you got fucking stung by a bee. Have you ever been stung by a bee? That shit hurts. I don't care who you are, where you're at, or whatever. You get stung by a bee, then like, ow! Right? Ah! All the bees are bad and scary, and you take out all the bees either. Bees are really important. They serve a function. They have a role in life. Bulls, they're really important. They serve a function. They have a role in life. Why are the bee and the bull inside of a china shop? Why are you structuring your psyche like a china shop? So that when people get inside your head, right, or when you have interactions with people, your brain's processing interactions with people, and they have emotions and they have responses and all of these things, like, if you structured your psyche as if it were this big open field of flowers and trees and sunshine and whatever, if this bull got stung by a bee, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Right? Maybe it would like stomp on a flower or something like that, or maybe accidentally stepped on a bee and that's why, or who knows, whatever. It's just life. There's resistance and persistence. There's push and there's pull and there's ebb and there's flow and there's weaving and there's movement. There's currency. So the environment is super important. Why would you set up your psyche like a china shop? So when that bull and that bee are both in your head, and that, the bee stings the bull in your head, doesn't like completely destroy the fabric of your psyche, and then you don't know how to process it and have all of those. Like, ask yourself that. Because if you're feeling the forgetfulness, the frantic anxiety part, the greediness, the selfishness, the silliness, and the silliness, I don't want to turn it into playful. What we learn a lot more through play. So in watching this video, maybe particularly, it could be a bit silly. But there's a point. There's a seriousness to it. It's not doing it to try and be funny or to try to brush shit off. Okay? Not that kind of silliness. We're not clowning around here. There's work to be done. Okay, we need to persist and get through these things and evolve and change, because there's greater responsibilities outside of, just feeling good and happy and whatever all the time. Like, there's bees in the world. Things are going to come along. We need to anticipate bee stings and know and what, from the bee's perspective, anticipate bulls being in china shops. You're a bee. And you end up in this china shop with a bull. A bull comes along, it's like, and you're both in this tight space, and you sting the bull because you're, gonna get squished. That's self-preservation, and this bull knocks over the china shop. You and the bull are both alive. Great. What value are you attaching to this china shop where you're like, oh my god, what a great loss. All of this china shop stuff, whatever, it's all broken and destroyed, and all the delicate, whatever, stuff is just lost and gone for, those things are not alive. Okay? The bull is alive. The bee is alive. That's what's important. We're not trying to squish the bee. We're not going to go and shoot the bull because our china shop is destroyed. We'll get fucked. Okay? That's not how this works here. Our psyches are not china shops. Okay? Make your psyche a padded room if you have to, so when the bee and the bull come in there, you can have whatever emotions, things flipping, flaring, going all over the place, but nobody's gonna get hurt. Big things are coming. This is a time to gather your goods, being prepared, Represent all you have. Never squander your assets. Be practical. Practicality. Think ahead. Right? This is part of that being conscious thing and cultivating the conscious aspects of our creative nature, right? Is being able to think ahead, recognize pattern. Pattern recognition is really important through all of this. Resistance, persistence, right? If there's resistance, there's probably a pattern in there that's being reconciled, you know, and if there's persistence, there's probably a pattern in there, you know, needs to be reconciled, so on and so forth. Steer away from making decisions out of fear. This only causes greediness and selfishness. Trust that if you pay attention and gather what is needed, you will get through anything. That persistence part of things. From the realm of consciousness. And, what was the other one? Self-regulation and, come on. The word's escaping me at the moment. But it has to do with self-regulation, right? Like regulating emotions. Maybe it's emotional regulation. The nervous system, that's what I'm thinking of. Nervous system, biology, parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system, okay? One is fight or flight mode, and the other one is the, like, let's relax and grow mode, okay? If you're in the fight or flight mode, and you're in this mode of survival and fear, right? You're going to be making decisions based off of those patterns and conditioning and qualities and subconscious motives, unconscious motives. If you're in a relaxed, aware space, right, where you can process and prepare and think and not be in this space of fear, right, there's you can be present, you can be conscious. You're not going to be slave to your conditioning. You'll have an opportunity within this space to make choice, or to have choices, or to choose, or to switch up that pattern, which is really important. Tree of Life nuts remind us how tough it can be to get to the core of an issue or to break beyond the hard shell exterior someone has put up. Are you finding it hard to get through to someone? Hello? Yes. What time is dinner? Or do you find yourself trying to force a situation? A nut that is too hard to crack may indicate that you are trying too hard to make something happen, or trying too hard to force someone or something into a position and need to reconsider. How do we go about finding solutions and preparing for days ahead that don't have to do with fear and anxiety? Also, being crazy or nutty may also be what Tree of Life Nuts is suggesting when you draw this card. A time for silliness and letting go is called for. Humor and fun days can lighten our load as we prepare to or endure hard times. We learn more through play, like 100 times more, whatever. It's like statistically phenomenal how much more we learn in a state of play than in that state of seriousness. So it's okay to be silly. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to and I think this is where people or see a lot of resistance with people. My fucking life, just things I'm going through, they're just fucking hard. Everything right now is just so fucking difficult. Just one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, and it's just like, you know, I could be so serious and let it bog me down and just, like, you know, have to play, I gotta get all this stuff done and I have to fit into the social mode so I don't, like, you know, get outcast. I'm already fucking, like, on the outskirts of things, so that doesn't, like, resonate or work for me. Getting to the cores of issues, right? Getting to the heart of the matter. So I just play and I just have fun. It's just like, you know what? If I can't control my environment, if I can't control my circumstances, and I'm, like, stuck, trapped, locked into this environment and the circumstances as they are, like, and I can't really do anything about it, I'm not gonna let them, like, the environment and the circumstances dictate who I am or who I should be or what I need to do or try to fucking kill me, you know, try to make me off myself or something like that because, you know, whatever. Like, no. We're not going down that deep dark hole of, like, you know, let's make Kelsey self-destruct and whatever so we don't have to take accountability for our actions. Nope, not doing that. Nope, not gonna go down that rabbit hole of, like, you know what, I'm sorry you're uncomfortable, so let me somehow, like, minimize and belittle myself to make you more comfortable. Nope. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna call me cocky, you're gonna call me arrogant, you're gonna call me narcissistic because I'm asserting myself and I know myself? Go get fucked. Right? Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm not getting to this place where I'm gonna bend over and take it up the ass because people are uncomfortable. Like, get fucked. Right? Quit fucking me over and go get fucked somewhere else. Like, this whole, like, fucking thing. Fuck, fuckity, fuck. Fuck. Right? I love this space. Thank you for showing up and being here with me in it today. We're about an hour in, so we can start wrapping it up a little bit. This resisting and this persisting. Emotional intelligence is super important. Go educate yourself on it and what that means so that you can educate other people on that and what that means. Be good examples and be good leaders for emotional intelligence and what that looks like, and stop trying to coddle, you know, I'm not wrong, I'm not being mean, I'm not saying anything that isn't true. I got to this point out of boundaries, you know, out of having people cross and violate boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, I mean, people are going to take advantage of that, you know. When you finally put up a boundary after not having boundaries, people lose their shit. Or when you have strong boundaries for things, and it's just like, you know what, I have this rule book inside of me that says, if somebody does A, then walk away. Right? And, well, guess who did A? I walk away. That's my boundary. Like, why are you going to guilt trip me and tell me I'm stupid and make me feel bad and try to tear me down to try and get me to stay and to break down my boundaries in order to give you what you want? I don't like the bullies and threats and the people who are manipulative and say shitty, mean things to try to get their way. Okay? You're going to walk into a space and you're going to have an agenda and you're going to try and, like, control the room to get people to give you or do certain things for you, and it's kind of fucked up, and that's not really being in the flow, and that's not really, like, the point of life. Be prepared. There may be a power outage or bank crisis. Anything can happen. But as long as you're prepared and, like, you feel like you tried your best or whatever, then that's all that there needs to be. So let's look at this treehouse. This is the first one that came up, and we're just kind of working our way back around to it. Treehouse 42, the meaning of life. It's also card number 13 in this deck. All right. The meaning of life, creating security. So what's the point of all this, like, emotional talk today? and all this stuff about resisting and persisting today. What is this all about? This is about creating security. It's kids. Not like, maybe that's some form of security, but kids. No, that doggy's a nice doggy. We see that doggy at the park all the time. Kismet! That's enough. Like, right? Kismet, stop barking. Kismet, stop barking. Kismet, stop barking. Kismet, stop barking! See the difference? The dog's like, oh, fuck you. Use me as an example. Kiss. That's enough. Right? It's not yelling, it's not being mean, but there's an assertion. Oh, the poodle on that side. You're a park poodle. Don't. That doggy's not even doing anything to you. God. The anxiety, right? That's a good example of how anxiety and fear can create instability when what we're looking for is creating security. Right? My dog, when she was a very, very little puppy, was removed from her mom and her litter because she had like a thing stuck in her eye, and she had to go to the vet early on during COVID. So there's like separation anxieties, especially like with babies and like these infants and really small things. Like when you separate them from their mother, you create behavioral problems. You're interfering with the natural developmental stages of things, which leads to things like this. You know, that's just circumstances. It's the bee, you know, it just happens. But it creates these intensities and these anxieties. And so, like, anytime we see a dog or something, it's just, like, always on guard, always in this, like, you know, oh no, this whatever dog walking down the street with the cutest little vest on it is, you know, minding its own damn business, is somehow gonna, like, be a threat to you. You can't rationalize that and reason that out with the dog in that sort of way. It's gonna be all based on conditioning. They don't have verbal behavior the same way that humans do, right? But that's no excuse for humans. Security. Ingenuity, skills, usefulness, development of plans, collaboration, relocation, getting in a new environment, finding people who are supportive and encouraging. That takes effort. It takes consciousness. It takes work. It takes rejection. It takes acceptance. It takes persistence. People are going to want to resist you. They're going to be like, who are you, weirdo? You want to be my friend? Oh, I don't think I'm going to be friends with you. You know, you look different than me or something. Or like, we're going to be your friend because you don't fit in my mold. Just fucking had it. My hard shell nut exterior or whatever is just, it's fucking cracked. Like, something is sprouting out of this, and, you know, there's fucking roots going into the ground, and there is just, like, you know, I'm not a nut. I'm a fucking goddamn tree, you know? God blessed for whatever tree. I will reach down to the deepest of depths, and I will reach up to the highest of heights, and I will be the communicating channel vessel for all of that to harmonize and play my part in the world, you know? Like, why do people try to call other people crazy? Like, oh, they're crazy. And people are like, oh my god, she's crazy. And then there's all this, like, stigma and bullshit built up around, oh my god, they're nuts. And it's just like, we're all fucking nuts. But a nut isn't a nut. A nut, it's a seed. It's got potential to be something other than a nut if you nurture it, if you water it, if you plant it, if you take care of it, if it's in the right environment. You know, like, this thing can live for thousands of years and be huge and massive, and, like, trees are amazing. I love trees. They're such cool, amazing beings that are just so secure. They can be, right? But a tree that doesn't have secure roots will get blown over. Abusing nature. So the other side of this, abusing nature, childish pranks, destitution, or making do. Let's do one of those kind of like example things of whatever. Okay, so dogs barking in the back of the car, it's inappropriate behavior for a lot of reasons, right? Like, there's just no reason for that. And you can, through the progressive steps or through a chain of commands, work through altering and shifting or eliminating that behavior. Okay, so for example, the Kismet be quiet, elevating and escalating to a louder voice in order to like get her to submit and be quiet, right? That is much different. There are people who are like, oh my god, you yelled at your dog and you raised your voice and you were strict and had discipline. Oh my god, like, take her out back and shoot her. She's so abusive. That's not abuse, honey bunny, okay? There's nothing being neglected. There's nothing whatever, I want to jump back in the back of the car and go beat the shit out of the dog or something, maybe. Or if I'm gonna, like, let the dog bark or whatever, just wait for the dog and then go home and then do something nefarious to it late. Like, that's fucked up too, Or, like, what am I supposed to do? Put my whole life on hold, pause everything so I can whatever, not let other people see that, oh no, you can't see this side of whatever, I have to portray everything to be so perfect, and like, discipline, self-discipline, it's really important. Relocation. Dear God, please get me out of here. I want a new environment and home so badly. I just, like, on the verge of tears. I, throughout most of my life, have never, like, not had my own space or, like, some kind of security or self-created security. And it's just, like, in the last few years, any attempt at security I've tried to create for myself is, like, being destroyed or undermined, or people are taking that, or, like, I'm just not in an environment that is fostering my growth the way that or, like, creating security for me. I'm in an environment that's doing the exact opposite, where it's creating a lot of insecurity for me. And it, like, it's not because I'm an insecure person and something is wrong with me, right? Because there are other environments that I've been in and put myself in and whatever, and I'm in, and I feel secure. I can create security for myself. There's safety and acceptance and acknowledgement and all that. So it's not just me, I'm not the problem. The problem is the environment that I am in is not in alignment with my highest good. Maybe in some, like, larger quantum whatever something kind of way, maybe, sure, okay, we can get into an alignment with that too without judgment, sure, okay, fine. But this is treehouse, this is creating security, so the inverted side of this, abusing nature, childish pranks, destitution, or making do, the people trying to prank other people, or people trying to be deceptive, or, like, abusing nature, trying to take children away from their mothers, or, like, alienation, let's just call it parental alienation, interfering with nature and nurture, in the little podcast thing that I was listening to in our little poop walk just before this, I caught this lady saying, there are, like, the people in the world who are just so miserable about their lives and all of the things, that they see this, like, happy-go-lucky child who's just, playing in its silliness, whatever, and they come along and they pinch the child just to watch it cry to make themselves feel better, like, who does that? There are a lot of people out there who do that. And I feel like, kind of in my own security and a lot of the things, like, confidence for me has always been really challenging. At my rawest, I'm very playful. I'm very much have a childlike heart. Just, like, very youthful spirit, old soul kind of a thing, but can just be very much, and I love life so much, and I just love the way I feel so much when I get to these states of mind where I can be playful and enjoy, and I can just be in this space of exuberance and, but it's like, I can think of a number of situations throughout life and a number of these contexts where, like, I've just been in this whatever place and then somebody fucking comes along and it's just like squash. For example, in high school one time, I remember hanging out with like the group of football players or something like that, in, like, the downstairs cafeteria. A couple, like, my little Mexican friends or something, and I'm just, like, whatever, playing, having a good time or something like this, and I'll never forget this. Fucking Zach, this guy fucking turns to me and is just like, God, you are so immature. I'm thinking to myself, like, we're fucking high school, we're teenagers, this is a lunch break, and I'm just so full of joy, and I'm having so much fun right now, and you're gonna just, like, try to put out my light and call me immature? Like, really? And it's just, I've maintained that exuberance all throughout my life. I mean, I still just have this, like, whatever wistful joy about me. Just got right a fucking unicorn, for fuck's sake. Like, I love play. And I saw this guy on social media, several years back, and he was one of those where, right out of school, got married right away, tucked in the shirt, collared shirts, off to do the job, the house, the family, like that very, like, cookie cutter, this is what you do in life. I'm sure he's successful, and I'm sure he's got a happy family, and whatever, good for him, blah, 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 but, like, why the judgment? Why try to put out my fire? So you can be like, whoa, but look at me, I did it right, I played by the rules, I did the things that society says, and I have the house, and I have the family, and I have the car, and I have the whatever, and I have all these things that you don't, so therefore I know something you don't know, and you're just out there playing and trying to have fun in life, and, like, what the fuck do you know, or just having emotions and things, and, like, oh my God, like, why can't you just be a robot? Why can't you just live in the cookie cutter house? Why can't you just get a 9 to 5? Why can't you, like, oh, that is not fun. There's no fun in that in life. I think this destitution part of it, like, if you have to, it goes one of two ways, this is, like, the not being practical thing to get yourself to a point of destitution, or this is the also making other people destitute, or taking from other people, making other people destitute to benefit yourself. Like, what was that, the United Healthcare Insurance guy or whatever like that, who was just murdered, and it's like the amount of it, like, the whole thing is, like, 1 out of every 3 insurance claims is denied, and the amount of people who have, like, had health complications, problems, issues, whatever, who have died just so this fucking guy can make a butt ton of money, like, I don't know, we don't need to go into that, you get it, right? Tree of Life house card wants you to know that you might first need to arrange a space to plan out your creative vision. That's why I like doing these in my car sometimes, or why I don't always do readings very consistently, because I don't have the perfect ideal environment in mind for it to where I can show up and be in routine all the time. There's these other things that are really quite fucking distracting. I'm trying so hard to focus, and like, this is an autism trait thing too, where like I'm trying so hard to focus on this like thing to get it done, and I've got people who are like, oh, over here, oh, over here, oh, over here, oh, they're just like, and I'm just getting to this point of like, shut up so I can fucking focus and get shit done. So this, whole arranging an environment and creating a space in order for the things to come out is super, super important. And like, I have had my environment, my space, my whatever just ripped out from underneath me, and have just been like pushed out to the edge of things and isolated and so far disconnected from like having a space I can call my own, that like it's so hard to function. It's like just being in survival mode all the time. Nothing is sacred. But I want sacred space. Sacred space is like so necessary right now. It goes in line with emotional intelligence and creating safe space and all of that too, and like just safety and support for other people listening instead of judging. Your own dream development is vital now, so take action. Consider making a vision board, or by designing a place in your house that is just for you. I mean, like, I have a corner in the room of just like altar, and that is like my sacred space and the most like whatever, and it's just kind of like all that I have right now to really like keep myself grounded. But it's so powerful, just this little tiny like one little space. Like, it doesn't even take a lot. But it would be nice to be able to expand and to be able to have enough space to be able to like fill it out and to be able to grow in. I feel like a very root bound plant inside of a very teeny tiny little pot right now. And other things are like, but we need the dirt, we need to get into that pot, scoot over. And it's just like, I need a bigger pot. Like, I need a fucking garden. I need a yard. I need something that I can, like, expand out into. Like, I just feel like this very big fish inside of this little tiny bowl. And it's getting me to this point where here we are focusing on what creating security looks like, and where we're having these conversations about these very difficult things, because these are things that don't get talked about. They don't get mentioned. And we're just at this point where we're going to go against the status quo. Okay, and we're just going to do things here in the space, this whatever, in the way that I feel called to and is right and is necessary. And if that bothers you or whatever and you don't like it, then get back. You don't have to be here. But I deserve to be here. I'm allowed to be here, right? And I speak from the first person, but take this from a third person, second person, whatever, a you perspective. We're mirrors for each other here. If you have no current space of your own at home, it is time to claim a treehouse of the heart and mind, and then on the material plane. Using a journal can be that place if there's no actual room. Yeah, until, your mom reads through your journal when you're in your 30s and, is very awkward about, oh, I read through your journal. Why are you violating my boundaries? Why are you violating my privacy? Why are you getting mad and upset over me because you violated my boundary? And you're not even communicating with me or talking to me about whatever it is that you read or you saw or that you took in or whatever it is you're interpreting. You're just like using this as some sort of means to judge me and maintain this false idea of the role that I'm supposed to be playing in your life, to make you somehow like the most important main character, the fucking king of the universe or queen of the universe or whatever the fuck ever. And like, why would you put somebody so far above yourself. Like, if you're going to, like, fucking rely on God. Rely on things bigger than, you know, some person. You must have that space in order to activate dreams. So, right, people want to take that space away from you because they don't want to see your dreams activated. Right. So, keep it in here. Okay. There's a very vivid, colorful inner world that I exist in and I live in and that I play in, and I'm an artist and I do what I can to like take that out and put it outside so I can share that with other people. But I also have been very hesitant and very discerning at this point in my life what exactly it is I take out and share with whom. Because I'm noticing if I have these rich inner experiences and I try to share them with one, or like on a one-on-one, things can get misinterpreted or lost, or envy, jealousy, or something like that comes into play, or it's just, I don't know, it creates issues. So I feel like in this sort of a platform, or when I do things like this, or when I do put something out there in this sort of way, I share it with everybody instead of just one. Because I'm getting really fucking sick and tired of confiding in somebody who is supposed to be close to me just for them to pretend to care to my face, but then go and talk shit or take all of that information that I have shared with them and go share it with their friends and family or other people. Like, that's not okay. The reason why people speak to therapists, I think, has more to do with the level of confidentiality, because I know if I say something to a therapist or this sort of person over there, they have an ethical binding where they're not going to go and talk about my personal life and my privacy, my private issues with people who we share in common in order to try and make me look bad or something. No, this is a big part of why we can say that this current culture is lacking a lot of emotional intelligence, because there's no confidence in that. If you can't keep something confidential that somebody shares with you, right, then you're creating insecurity for that person, and that's kind of a fucked up thing to do, right? Move furniture around if you need to. Just adjust things in the house if you need to. Clean the environment. Get rid of the clutter. Kind of like put the cart before the horse almost. Let's get out of this Tree of Life deck. Let's kind of wrap it up. I'm not going to go into as much of this as I really thought. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole today. I think we pretty much gotten the point across, and there's not really a whole lot that we need to dig into when it comes to resistance and persistence, right? We're just kind of in the middle of that tug-of-war space, and I think it's important, I guess, I don't know, to kind of stay in this space of neutrality, as far as today goes. I mean, if something comes up for you, if there's an issue or something you want to dive into, I mean, we can absolutely go that direction. You can always reach out to me or put suggestions down for stuff or topics. You can reach out to me for private readings or whatever. I feel like there's a lot of resistance there. I think kind of on like both of our ends. I am very resistant right now to anybody who could not have my highest good in mind. I am very much focused on manifesting or aligning with only those types of people who have the highest good in mind for all. And so I am very I have a very strong filter, I guess, kind of around me when it comes to who's going to come into this space. Um, there are certain people I won't do readings for, and these are people who won't ever reach out to me or approach me, I think, because I've sent that, created that energetic barrier, at least dense enough and thick enough to where, they're not in alignment. I mean, there's no osmosis, they'll just bounce off. Like, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Right? The only way osmosis is going to occur in this sort of situation, if there's like something mutually beneficial for us, you know, where we're existing and working within the same system. Okay? So if that feels right to you, and you're resonating with that, and you want to really get into some pretty complex conversations with me, I'd really appreciate that right now. Deep connections, people wanting deep connections. Time to ground. Okay, let's get grounded as we close off this channel. I do have a lot that I need to get done today, and I can just feel my energy being pulled in a lot of different directions, and none of those directions is really that enticing, if that makes sense. There's not a whole lot of external motivation controlling my behavior right now. It's all internal motivation. And so it's just being, again, very hesitant about where that energy is being directed. If there was some sort of like channel or avenue or venue or something outside of me that was incredibly lucrative right now, you can guarantee that is what would be taking all of my focus and all of my energy. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Seek your destiny. Maybe that's why that part of it's there. Seek your destiny, whatever it is you're destined for. Show that you care. That's 42 as well. That's really important. I care. Dog, I care about you. You know, I want to yell at you because you're losing your shit and barking at this other dog. Like, I care. I need you to, like, control your internal whatever nervous system thing too, because that's healthy for you. There's a dragon on here too. Yesterday in Drop the Mic, dragons came out. I don't have the dragon book with me, although I feel like that would kind of be appropriate right now. Something about all three of these cards so far. I mean, it might kind of permeate throughout the deck, but I'm noticing it within these three specifically are the portals. Okay. The turtle in the portal underground. The fox in the portal in the tree. And these guys with the portal in the forest behind them, right? Seeing the forest through the trees, coming out through the roots, coming out through the trees, expanding out through the forest, right? Like building and expanding from the ground up in a caring way, in a conscious way, in a way that benefits all, right? We're not doing any of this out of greed or envy. We're not, you know, there's no sin here, okay? There's a lot that needs to be said about jealousy and envy and greed and all of that. Maybe we'll go kind of more into that just as we shift into the new year and kind of focus on moving these readings forward as all of this stuff is evolving too. Thank you for your patience with me. I know there's a lot of moving parts and pieces and things, but the information that comes through it's grounded, it's channeled. It comes from peace and love and good intention. That's fine. See the truth is here. Seek your destiny and see the truth. 37 and 39. Seek your destiny. It takes effort. It takes work. It takes patience pays. Wait. Consolidate. Concentrate. Just be you. Also means taking the necessary actions and getting yourself consciously into the right sort of environments, you know, and putting the effort to get yourself out of this, you know, like, if a creature is hatching out of an egg, the egg doesn't just crack and the creature comes out, right? It's the pecking thing. It's got to peck from the inside. It's got to push it from the inside out to break through, to crack that external shell. That takes force and pressure. And you imagine when you're like a young little bird still inside of a shell, and you have no experience, no knowledge of anything outside of you, and the only thing that's driving you is just pure instinct and like biological, like genetics, right? It's just DNA and this whatever doing this. The amount of energy and resource and persistence that it must take to get through that sounds exhausting, right? But then when you break through, then all of a sudden there's oxygen, and then you can cry out, cheep, 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 and then something comes along and nurtures you and feeds you, and you evolve and you sprout wings and you fly off, and you know, oh. Thanks for showing up in this space again. I feel very trusted in this space, if I must say. I feel like the people who show up in this space are listening, and they trust me, and they're like, you know what? We're here, we showed up, you go. And I go, and then we go together, and we're all together, and then great. So thank you for that. It kind of means the world for me. I think the lack of feedback or the lack of direction or whatever, I think that is that makes me feel like I know what I'm doing. It makes me feel like I'm in the right place at the right time, and all I need to do at this point, whatever, is just trust myself and go with it, and just show up, talk about the things, do the whatever, right? And then it comes out. Okay. You have purpose and reason for being. You could have one or even several destinies. Are you afraid to believe in destiny because others may laugh? Don't be. It could be as simple as taking a moment to look within and discover those things that you love most passionately and bring them out into the light. But you will never know if you are afraid to step through the doorway and see what's on the other side. Trust that everything you hope and dream of will be there waiting for you. Woof! It'll be a little nerve-wracking when you've been in survival mode for most of your life, that persistence and just to keep going, and like eventually, you know, like how many more times can you take getting knocked down to the ground and hitting rock bottom and having to start over? Like how many times do you have to go through this before finally you get a breakthrough and security, and then like growth happens? Just keep going. Just keep going. Believe, trust, like that's so important. And like there's this inner knowing, there's something, that guiding light inside that is like, you know, if you just do this and you just keep going and keep following this, it's going to work out and it's going to be fine. There's enough in the history that has showed you that every time you do this, it's fine. Just keep going. It's going to be harder. I know it's been hard, and I know it's been difficult, and I know that you want to give up, and I know that there's not a whole lot of support there, but you must, from within, find that persistence, the resistance to the external blah, 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 bullshit, monkey, blah, da, 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 right? And find it within you to persist through it all. Despite how I feel, I'm going to do it anyway. Despite how I feel, thank you, conscious coach, for that one, right? Conscious coach, confidence coach, for that one, right? Because it's an alignment, because it's truth. So let's see the truth. Well, I gotta go, because I gotta pee, and I got work to do, and I only got a couple hours to do it before I gotta get my kiddo, and it's lunchtime. I could be here all day. I mean, we could do this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? Just la 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 until the fucking cows come home. out of their china shops, out of their butchering blocks. I kind of have to watch my humor, I think, or at least just be mindful of my humor and not get so attached to it, because I don't know that a lot of people understand my humor. I think they try to take that wrong, especially from the sarcastic side of things. Neurodivergence is a bitch. It's fine. Okay, see the truth. I wish people could just, like, get it, you know? But sometimes they think when, like, you're too smart for your own good, kind of a thing, words and stuff come out of your mouth in ways, and people are like, huh? You're like, well, my inner world, this is hilarious and makes a ton of sense to me. just in, I guess, in preparing myself to close out this space, I took the RADS R test today. I've taken it before. It's an autism spectrum scoring thing. 240, I scored 204. And people are like, you don't seem very autistic to me. Masking is coming off. We're cracked. My mask is fucking cracked. I don't know if this is just like genetic trauma coming to the surface, but this is like Jewish and Blackfoot ancestry all coming up to the surface of, like, just because I'm different doesn't mean that you need to, like, lock me away and concentrate me in a camp and kill me off. Or, like, from the Blackfoot side of things, like, all the top male warriors were all, like, extinct. But that does something to somebody's genetic line, I think. You know? Like, all this, being punished and ostracized for just being your inherent self, or being different than, like, the popularity thing. That's not okay. Genocide is not okay. You get one person that comes along and deems another group of people evil because of something like hair color, you know, or because of, like, physical looks, and then whole cultures and populations are just whoop, wiped off the face of the fucking... Do not be deceived. Okay? Please. Listen, don't be deceived. Make wise decisions for yourself, because there are all of these deceptive modalities around us that are programming us to fit into this corporate modality to drive our behavior, because we are all sheeple in corporate America. We're not really seen as humans, you know. You're just a cog in this great system of things, of corporate whatever, that is just trying to make money for somebody else other than you. And you're, like, feeding into it, like, wow, look, I'm the best slave. Okay. Or whatever. But I'm not going to call myself that because I have something and they don't. But still, where's your freedom and your autonomy and your ability to have freedom of expression? I mean, it's definitely, people are trying to limit that, aren't they? Trying to fit you into a box. Resisting and persisting. Just contain it. Lock it up, throw it into the ocean. Oh, you know, lock it up, contain it, and bury it in the desert. I mean, eventually, all that nuclear sludge or whatever, it's going to start leaking and it's going to get in the waterways, and we're going to have an even bigger problem down the road that could have been prevented had we had been prepared. Do not be deceived. Be watchful and mindful of the illusions others weave around themselves, and that you may weave around yourself. Know the night, N-I-G-H-T, night. Understand the shadows. See through the darkness to the light of the truth. Pay attention to contradictions. Notice when actions and words are not in harmony. Hone your intuition and insight so that you may know the minds and hearts of those around you and yourself, and trust in the wisdom born of that awareness. Okay? We're going for truth here. We're going to see the light. We're going to see the truth by acknowledging the darkness and the shadows and the things that are around it. Because you can't really know one without the other. Let's see. We did something in Conjure. We went into the Tree of Life. We did something out of here. Let's take one Art Oracle. And then I'm done. I'm done. We've been here for almost 2 hours today. Thank you if you sat through it all. These are always good opportunities where you can just, like, click on some random part of the video and just kind of go in from there. Take it like a divination tool. Jean Cousteau. Huh? The story only seems one-sided. There's always multiple sides to a story. There's always at least 3 sides to any story, right? There's no such thing as a happy ending. Okay, this is not Disney fairy tale fantasy land. You know, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, beautiful, all of it exists in one nutshell. Okay, it's a full wide spectrum of human experience. Live it. Find your future in the past. Okay? Patterns are super important. Let's read the rest of Monsieur Jean out of the book, and then I'm closing this off. Then you're going to reach out to me because you want a holiday reading. We'll do it by donation basis. We'll change each other's lives before the end of the year, and we'll start 2025 fresh. Fuck. We're fucking cracking out of the shell. Okay? Reborn! That makes sense. Whatever, it's all just gonna come through by practice. If I keep showing up and if I keep whatever, eventually it's gonna be like, oh, aha, but I'm not gonna get there unless we actually are here. So here we are, doing the things. Avant-garde playwright, poet, and director Jean Cousteau loitered with the creative elites of early 20th century Paris, earning a reputation of being fabulous company. He collaborated with composers and artists and self-medicated with opium as needed. Throughout his life, Cousteau was haunted by his father's suicide in 1898. Themes on a sad childhood appear in works such as his novel Les Enfants Terribles. Fucking Spanish is getting in the way here. Okay? Terrible infants, about 2 troubled siblings. His play, La Voix Humaine, The Humane Voice, involves one woman speaking by phone to her soon-to-be ex who is never heard. Along with Picasso, loneliness and miscommunication were also Cousteau's lifelong friends. I'm not the only one. I just feel like I'm constantly misunderstood. What time is dinner? 9 people. What time is dinner? 9 people. What the fuck is that all about? It's fine. You know, I just sit over here by myself and 9 people over there. You know, let's just show up on time. Fuck. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm done with all of this for today. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Let's close this off with a couple deep breaths. 3. Let's do 1 in through the nose, out through the mouth. Longer in, shorter in, longer out. don't know what bird these from, but somebody got eaten for dinner. Now the feathers are mine. Number 2, breathe in, breathe out. We are co-regulating our nervous systems. One more. Thanks for co-regulating with me today. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thanks for listening. Thank you for thanks. I don't know, just for being here, for being on Earth, doing the things, doing whatever. Okay. Bye. Love you.